Hello everyone, my name is Thawon Ponyut and I am a master degree student in Science Education Program Khon University, Thailand. For this time, I and Dr. Niwat Sisawat will present our research paper on the topic of promoting conceptual development of Bayesian phenomenon through simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model. We will briefly introduce the rationale of this study. With the advancement of science and technology knowledge and the rapid change of the 21st century society, education system worldwide is impacted by the change and there has been transformed to be a suitable and better system for preparing youth and citizens. As the way of education reform happened in Thailand, Thai government provided framework of National Education Act and also curriculum standards for schools in order to educating young citizens in various subjects. However, in the context of science teaching and learning in classroom, students still held unscientific view called alternative conception in this study of natural phenomena allow them. In physics, buoyancy force is a fundamental concept that students will need to understand for having conceptual comprehension of sinking and floating phenomena. Indeed, a numberless study of science education research reported that students had alternative conceptions regarding buoyancy phenomenon. From science educators' reports, a method which can help students learning science concepts correctly and enhance them changing of alternative conceptions is dual-situated learning model, in which its abbreviation is DSLM. This study utilized the DSLM as a developmental method in order to create a unique learning environment of open inquiry science learning with interactive computer simulation, shortly called simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model or SimIn-DSLM. Additionally, a formative assessment method was incorporated into the SimIn-DSLM as a strategic tool for enhancing the process of conceptual change in students' conceptual learning on buoyancy phenomenon. This study was conducted in a manner to examine that does simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model SimIn-DSLM affect grade 12 students' conceptual understanding of buoyancy and to investigate how the simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning models impacts the student conceptual status of buoyancy within their cognitive structure. We expected to understand the learning phenomenon, both quantitative and qualitative aspects in this study. As we mentioned, we expected to understand grade 12 students' learning phenomenon, both quantitative and qualitative aspects, on using the simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning models for studying buoyancy phenomenon in physics classroom. To following the expectation, the first objective of this study was to examine grade 12 students' conceptual understanding of buoyancy phenomenon, both characteristics and score. Secondly, we would like to investigate grade 12 student mechanical processes of conceptual change of buoyancy phenomenon. Finally, we object to study grade 12 students' conceptual retention of buoyancy phenomenon. This slide presents the research framework of this study. This study was grounded by theoretical basis related to specific attributes of the science concept, student preconceptions, inquiry-based science learning, GEM learning cycle, and media attributions of computer simulation. And the main theoretical basis is dual-situated learning model. In order to the development of simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model, open inquiry science practice, formative assessment method, and interactive computer simulation were incorporated, and the SimIn-DSLM was implemented through physics classroom for studying students' conceptual understanding and conceptual change on buoyancy phenomenon. This recent study was conducted in two phases of research practice. The first phase has conducted in order to exploring students' preconceptions regarding buoyancy phenomenon using the survey method. Open-ended question items regarding the phenomenon of buoyancy were administered to 70 of grade 12 students during the first semester of 2011 academic year. Descriptive statistics of frequency and percentage was used to describe the students' preconceptions. For the second phase, this study has conducted to implement the simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model or SimIn-DSLM to 33 of grade 12 students in physics classroom during the second semester of 2011 academic year in order to investigating their conceptual understanding, conceptual change, and conceptual retention regarding buoyancy phenomenon. The mixed research method was used for the practice of this phase. The quantitative research method used was experimental method of one group pretest post-test design, and the qualitative research method used was phenomenological research method. Conceptual open-ended question items regarding the phenomenon of buoyancy were individually administered to the student as pre-test, post-test, and retention test at, before, and after they have completely participated learning experience with the simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model and a month after post-test, respectively. This slide shows an example of buoyancy learning situation which used for student learning in this study. For the inquiry situation, we employed an interactive computer simulation from PhET, Physics Education Technology, into student learning experience of buoyancy. In this study, there are 7 inquiry situations regarding buoyancy phenomenon. Each situation was developed based on student alternative conceptions which obtained from the findings of the first phase. Also, all inquiry questions were developed from student alternative conceptions as well, by the way of dual-situated learning model. In order to analyze students' conceptual understanding, conceptual change, and conceptual retention regarding buoyancy phenomenon conducted in the second phase of the research practice, both quantitative and qualitative methods were used for the analysis. For the quantitative analysis, frequencies and percentage were used to describe their conceptual understanding, change and retention, and non-parametric fitment test was used to compare a difference of those. For the qualitative analysis, methods of content analysis and analytic description were used to interpret and in-depth explain what happened in their conceptual understanding, conceptual change, and their conceptual retention. Next, we will present results of this study. The result of student conceptual understanding score on the phenomenon of buoyancy concept is shown here. From the result, they show that the student conceptual understanding scores were significantly different among pre-test, post-test, and retention tests. The finding is the student understandings of buoyancy concepts have been improved after their participation with the simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model. Moreover, the students show endurable understanding of the buoyancy concept as we see in the retention scores. The result of students' conceptual change is shown in this slide. We classify the category of conceptual change into 5 categories consisting progression, maintain correct, maintain partial correct, maintain incorrect, and retrogression. The result shows that the major change of their conceptions regarding buoyancy phenomenon from pre-test to post-test occur in the progression or PG type for the concept 1 to concept 6. This indicated that the students can gain more accurate conceptual understanding of buoyancy phenomenon after their participation with the simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model. In other hand, most of them maintained their alternative conceptions on the concept 7 after the participation. The result of students' conceptual retention is shown in here. The results show that the major change of their conception regarding buoyancy phenomenon from post-test to retention test occur in the maintain correct or MTC type for concept 1 to concept 5. This indicated that the students have radical change in their conceptual framework of buoyancy phenomenon after their participation with the simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model because they have endurable conceptual understanding of the buoyancy phenomenon. Only the concept 7 that most of them maintained incorrect conception within their conceptual understanding. In order to make a comprehensive conclusion for this study, the findings of this study revealed that using an instructional strategy of simulation-based inquiry with dual-situated learning model can induce gradual students' change of their existing understanding of buoyancy phenomenon. After the change, most of them gain more accurate conceptual understanding of the phenomenon and moreover have endurable understanding of the phenomenon. This could be claimed that the students were enhanced into radical conceptual change of the buoyancy phenomenon after participating with the instructional strategy. The change results them changing their alternative conceptions into scientific conceptions and also advance their existing scientific conceptions. Finally, The radical change may be push up them into meaningful learning in science more and more. That's all of my presentation and our finding from the recent research. Thank you for your attention. Any questions or comments can send to my email or Dr. Niwat's email later. Goodbye.